Well, howdy diddly there, neighborino. Are you guys ready for more Citizen Sleeper? Maybe the end of Citizen Sleeper? I don't know, probably not. I imagine we get another stream after this. Then we also have Citizen Sleeper 2, so it really wouldn't be the end of Citizen Sleeper, it'd be the end of it's semantics. Bullshit.
Oh God, they trying to drown me in
The
this
instant hydrate, of course. Still no make ban proud redeem. It's okay because I genuinely, in the most real way, I did need that. Like, I did need a sippy. I don't know why I didn't take a sippy. But I just didn't. Megan, how are you doing today? We're gonna feed the cat. How are you doing today, and does the cat do anything? Or am I just feeding the cat to feed the cat? You're doing great? That's great. How you been? And that's the only answer I'll give you. We need more Haven Gate data. But Haven Gate is 2 and not 1, unfortunately. Unfortunate. Farm stacks. Mushroom. Forage for the fungus. Sorry, that was an important text. It's okay now, we're done. 2 random rare mushrooms, eh? Oh, dude, the club head caps and the Mutsaka cap. Dude, this is exactly because we need different types of shrooms. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're shrooming it. Let's talk to this freak. Let's talk to this fucking freak. You spot on Kita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this. When all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. For that sleeper, she stares up at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. What you did is unforgivable. She looks at you. I understand. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulders. I've been preparing for skirmishes. Look, she says. You come with me? It's easier if what? You see it, she finishes. It's just down the way. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There's wind passing through the greenway. A quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You've been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind. It's been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum in the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering glow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin, the smallest she's ever looked. She places the box down. Follow her run. You follow Ankita into the shack, through a low tank. Entering the drum at ground level is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for the glint of a weapon, or shadow among the moss. Ankita stops, and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now. The equipment cleared away, and its place is a mound of dirt. Loosely covered with moss, Ashton rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You realize that those questions don't matter anymore. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it. Life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita, from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo-chits in your hand. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the ugly metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Take the chits. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track and she does not follow. As you walk up, as you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pockets and you hate them, reminding you of how little a life is worth. The bad end. Yeah. Oh, I imagine there was a way that might have ended better, maybe if I didn't call her before that happened, before I went in. Fucking Ankita. Yeah, fucking Ankita. That's... Harlequin?
You do not need to be up on the desk, ma'am. You just don't need to be. I don't understand why you seem to disagree so heavily.
She's being very combative right now. And I have no idea why. We're gonna do this. So now we have a +1 to everything, at least. You know, fuck it, we ball type shit. Wastes. Need to give these guys the gi rolls. I imagine we're getting pretty close to late game just by looking at my character. You know what I mean? Still need to disable my tracker, fully enter the Greenway, Flotilla 8, gives no Emphas. I got the Matsuke caps for him too. I'll probably do that tomorrow though, because I think it usually feeds me when I do stuff for Emphas. Still not anything to do. I haven't found anywhere that I guess I can plant the gardener seed. We'll do this. I was gonna, worst case scenario, I get Gear caps. I got a bunch of Matsuke caps. Yeah, fucking Ankita. Put those spore sampling skills to good use. I am kind of horribly upset, and I think I'm going to be replaying the game on my own to see if I can't get a different outcome for that one specifically. Like, I feel like that's the only quest line that is ended so far that I have been truly upset about the ending of. You know what I mean? I feel like I guess there's a few other, like, most of the other quest lines haven't really ended for me that, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them are still going. Fucking Ankita. Oh, I should have put the stabilizer in yesterday. Holy shit. It's okay, because we're stable now. This is not where we meant to go. Not even a little bit. Gotta go to Emphasis stall. The Matsuke broth. Freshly sourced. Emphasis ingredients supplied. Oh, no, because, yeah, now he needs a few fucking days. And I can't order from him. I could collect spores, because I'm going to need more spores. I'm going to need more spores, let's be honest here. 2 grove spores, let's go. 1 grove spores, and that's all I need to germinate spores. Just to be clear, I can't do that with this, right? Nope. I need to find somewhere safe to plant the gardener seed. That feels important, right? You know what I mean? That feels like something that's very important to do, and I don't know why. Give energy, and I don't have time right now to do that. I think the only place I can buy food right now is gonna be up here. The fucking lounge, where it's fucking expensive as shit. Back to here. Feed the cat. Stray fed. I love to feed that stray. I love that cat. I love that cat. What else were you offering me? You want me, a shit mind, yeah. I don't know, just to fucking have it, I guess. I think I can sell it, probably. Might be useful at some point. There's another repair bay that I'll be working with, so... maybe I can use a ship mind for someone who's not an absolute dickhead. Tala! Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty, tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. It's ready. She's grinning ear to ear. Now try. Obviously, she grabs you by the arm before you can ask anything else and drags you into the back room. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, the newly installed lights making the place look clean, whether it is or not. Tala has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal crate, where 2 glasses with a few fingers of pale griot inside sit waiting. G-roll. God. She smiles. I haven't even tried it yet. You can see she's nervous. You both sit at the makeshift table, the slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. Tala hands you a glass. Cheers, she says solemnly, and knocks the glass back. You do the same. The first sensation is burning, a sharp, nose-clearing blast of alcohol that has your frame querying whether you would like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it is only then, behind the burn, that you taste the earthy tones of mushrooms. The wood and the soil left behind like sediment, barely there. Strong. Tala nods vigorously. Whew, that was heavy. Promise, though. You think? She whirls a glass and puts it down. Wait, I have an idea. Tala grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface and adds a few drops of water into the gear roll. Try again. This time the burn is a warming glow. Harsh but fading off, and the woodiness less heavy. You taste something floral, and among the marshy decay, something fresh and bright that you never expected to find. Both you and Tala meet eyes. It's really good, right? It is. Tala grins with her whole face, and that makes you smile too. Tala pours out some more gear roll and then adds some more water. The action's already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tala tucks her feet up behind the stool. Folding her legs, she looks down into her glass and swirls the liquid thoughtfully. It's growing on me. Tala laughs. Go steady. We need to save some for serving the bar. She smiles. Thanks for the backup. Clink your glasses together. Tala looks up at nothing in particular. My father opened this place, you know, she says out of nowhere, a thought suddenly becoming words. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for my family, when we got to the Eye. The refugees? From Sinza, yeah. It's one of Ember's lesser moons. She takes a drink. I don't remember much. I was only tiny when we came. I was just thinking about something my father told me. When he first set this place up, he wanted to call it the Badayan, but he was afraid it'd scare off customers, so we kind of translated it. Hence, the Overlook. In these past few cycles, where I've been in here, I've been thinking that I should rename the place. She looks at you. The Badayan. What do you think? I love it. She looks away. Me too. Tala picks up her glass. That settles it then. To the Badayan. Both clink your glasses and drink up. Tala hisses through her teeth. Still are, she laughs, and suddenly grabs her shoulder. Sleeper, I totally forgot. She stumbles to her feet. She lurches over to a corner of the room covered with a plastic sheet and whips it off like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a niche little kitchen, a sink, a work surface, and a compact oven with a hob. Your kitchen! She doesn't give you time to respond. You can come make stuff here anytime, as long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the key roll. I was thinking too that if things pick up, we could start serving proper food up the Badayan. You like it? It's perfect. Tala gives you a hug that quickly stands back. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you're here, she goes. Me too. As Tala tidies the kitchen, you inspect the kit. As Tala tidies away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking that it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back through the bar, and you share a glass of the good Girol, the one she didn't distill. And this time, you talk about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best places to eat on the Eye, which, after everything that has happened, feels like a nice change of pace. It's Empress! When it comes time to leave, you promise to cook for Tala, and agree to let her know which shifts you'll be working in the coming cycles, and then slip out the cool of the Rotunda. In this moment, you feel, for once, at home. Hell yeah. Help distill their future! Let's go! Yeah, let's do that one. Icebreaker seems pretty good. Icebreaker seems pretty freaking solid, man. I'll tell you what. And I can cook the things that I have. Hell frickin' yeah. Age officers, yeah, nothing. This track is banging too. The Ord Exchange, the dispensary, the fabricator. Emphasis still. We still got more work to do for Rabaya, I suppose. So. Always frickin' work to do. Scrap components. More scrap components. More scrap components, infinite scrap components. I have so many scrap components, dude. This is freaking awesome. We gotta work for Minji too. For old, I can't even remember his name. Damn, it's not gonna be useful for Haven Age. Awesome. We're gonna collect some more tithes. Finish this up. Have a whole fuck ton of scrap. Rabaya. This time you meet inside Rabaya's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her you stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabaya returns to meet you, you realize she is missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Update, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Sorry, don't be. I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of more invasive stares than I ever have. You both settle on the stools, Rabaya crossing her legs on top and sitting straight back. Gia told me you've been doing the rounds, collecting ties, patrolling the ward. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed. I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. Wanted to see for myself. She raised an eyebrow. See what for yourself? If I can trust you. I see. Rabaya flexes her neck side to side. In conclusion? Still deciding. Well, Sleeper, Rabaya says teasingly, please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles a thin smile. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you have come to us. Oh, it's Sabine! Enough, Rabaya. Sabine's course cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabaya's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabaya looks between the two of you. Suppose this ambush was another cooperation between the two of you? Strangely unfazed. No, they're acting alone. Sabine pauses, thrown off by a moment by your renunciation. Rabaya takes the opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool, and fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, and pushes... one arm, by the way. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to her knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards their breast. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stop! Stop fighting! And you support them, Rabaya asks you, or is not even leaving Sabine. Loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabaya. Sabine steps back. You're not able to think for yourself? Rabaya holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest, but after a painful wait, she throws Sabine's down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off with a single move. Well, now what? They both look at you, each catching their breath, as if they'd forgotten about your presence. Rabaya cracks her neck. You're lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right. Every right, she shouts, the anger of a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little. Bruised from the fall, they roll to their side and cough. Rabaya gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props himself up on their elbows and fixes Rabaya with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabaya taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs, no coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yatagan project. Rabaya collects herself. Speak. She folds her arm and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually, they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabaya immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching, but she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from SNARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper, they take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SMARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could. To this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The sleeper knows you are SNARP. I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sakes. In exchange for those. Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He's been using Yatagan enforcers, using you as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fist expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in, then opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifests and usage data, both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you. Something like a thank you, or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. One more drive complete. I guess we give them some time to work that out. They're planning something. We'll be back to that. How's Emphas doing? Emphas needs another day. Let's do some deliveries for good old Minji, baby. Sleeper, you see Feng come up out of the corridor and step out of Minji's, the kelp noodle style still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast. That sucked. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Feng passes you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives, Ripper worms. My slate has been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezes your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. I'm ready. Good to hear. He smiles. Harden's boys are connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network posts. Slot the Ripper worms in those ports. 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored in the Hardened Shadow Network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what those juicy plans they have in there. What juicy plans they have in there. Jesus Christ. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Minji. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. Oh, what the fuck? He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny Ripper worm drives in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Oh boy, I'm slotting worms. I'm slotting in the worms. Holy shit, that's crazy. I'll do it, though. Hardened agent port unlocked. Input 1 Ripper worm. Ripper worm. Ripper worm. Is this one also going to be 6? That one's gonna be 5. Motherfucker. That's a big ass number, bruh. Soulship Mind. Midlife, Fright Hub. Fright Operator. Feed the cat. Do a little bit of self-repair, why not? End the cycle. It's as simple as that. I like water. Water's pretty good. Definitely not bad, that's for sure. Potentially kinda awesome. Bypass, extract the data. We're also gonna, because there should be, that's a Yataghan agent, we should have, there we go. Boop. Bypass. Extract the data. Even age data, and now we got 5. We give that to Castor. He'll give us a whole fucking shit mind. Now Castor has nothing for me. Tragic. I can sell my ship mine for 150 cryo, if I wanted to. Oh, Emphas. Emphas is preparing the Matsuke caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalks as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white flesh from within. He's a good sleeper, very good, he says without looking up. I bartered with Minji for some kelp, too, so we can brew the dashi. Do you know Minji? Emphas looks up from the cutting with a smile. Everyone knows Minji. Emphas slides the sliced Matsuke mushrooms to one side and takes the closed pan. He opens the lid and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, Emphas explains. Should be good to warm now. He places the pan over the burner and turns it on low. We have some time now. Wipes his hand clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there's one difference this cycle, he smiles. You have been the one providing the ingredients, so it's my turn to provide a story. Okay. Good. This story is important to me. He gestures for you both to sit on the folding stools behind the stall. You see these? Emphas runs a hand over his forearm, tracing the circular scars that mark them like bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interface rig, a mechanical controlled device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit. Points to the pattern in larger soldier circles on his shoulders. They drill in and anchor it here, and all the way down in the arm. He taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly, a 1-to-1 mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a 2-ton arm swings too. Fucking power armor endlings. You should have seen the recruitment bids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up from company school to company shuttle. Conway from birth to death. He stares off in the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failures was high, and failures meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones, bad stuff. So after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. Checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. So there we are. Hundreds of us with surgical afflictions for suits that didn't work. They send us home, back to that company colony that spat us out, to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They give us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis, they folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars. What burns worse is the betrayal. I've been left on the eye a long time now. That will never fade. Not that, and not the faces of my friends. Emphas reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. It is ready. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. I will not let their story die. As long as I am telling it, it will remain. Emphas pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp like a pine forest after the rain. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matsuke, and thinking. Emphas busies himself with cleaning pans and the bowl, sealing the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It's not that there is nothing to say. It's that sometimes, in the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company. Emphas taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savoring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break, and the story leaves you both. As you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty and a little more full than before. Story Eater. Trade food and stories with a local. So I did it. I got to New Emphas. God motherfucking damn. We are getting there. We are getting there. Let's do Obsessive Haggler. I think we're kind of clearing everything we need to do. Before we get cracking on that, let's go over here. There's the aviary. What do I need for this? I need spores. Yes, I remember now. We can get spores. That's easy. Spores are easy to get. There we go. One spore, 2 spore, 3 spore. Rico, come in. Sleeper, Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here. Come here. Or come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console, wired to a thin series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selections of type from within the groves. But I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Tricoloma matsuke. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it was nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified to use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradient bars, and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of Solheim modified Matsuke spores. Modified? Yes, every specimen on the eye is tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course. But that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsuke spore looks like. I don't understand. Look at the composition. They're totally different. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have, and still are, affecting them. Do they still grow? Exactly, she smiles, what I wondered. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting matsuke like rotten sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. Matsuke here are grown from Solheim stock, pulled from a spore vault in this complex, she winks. They're delicious, by the way, she sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. And those are the spores that I've been using, too. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she is enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the grove is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it. I understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Rico looks impressed. Well, an ecomycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsuke. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsuke cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry, it all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these and we'll have a picture of what's happening there, and of the ways which this biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Yuko pops the Matsuke cap into her mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this shasta turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. I have a few mushrooms already, actually. It's awesome. Okay, and we still have quite a bit of... Not quite a bit. We have the one, but it's the goat one, so... Hang out with Mina. Oh, and it gives me energy. That's awesome. It's so freaking sick. 80 cryo, baby! Partnered with Bliss. Bliss's Bay. Buy into the hub's competitive repair market. And that we have. I forgot to put this, the Ripper Worm, in here when I opened it, it would seem. Feng. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Feng arguing with Jenna. Approach. You come up behind Feng and he turns and notices you. Jenna stops mid-tirade. As you arrive, she turns to you. You again. You here to vouch for this layabout? I am. She laughs. Well, well, well. And what are you two up to? Feng winks at you and interjects. It's like I told you, Jenna. I'm helping them out. Getting them settled, sorting their life out. They are a sleeper. You know what that means? Jenna softens. She looks a little embarrassed. Of course I know. She stops to think. Look, Feng, I get it. You're trying to help. But if you want to keep this job, you're going to need to be a little more reliable. Feng nods solemnly. Won't happen again, Jenna. I promise. She looks suspiciously between the two of you. Okay then. She turns to you. And look, I didn't mean to. Just be cool, alright? She turns and walks back to the bar. Well, well, didn't know you'd stand up for me, Sleeper. Feng claps you on the back. I appreciate the solidarity. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the Ripper Worms, as they dig into the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Feng scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk. A lot of dull-as-hell message threads. A lot of tedious data caches. But, Feng's eye flashes. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen, scrolling on an entry, and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway, Feng says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Feng nods. He's been speaking with them personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He has said, damn it, this is juicy. We can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait. What's this? A wasteland reclamation facility. Right here on the eye? He glances back to you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? Conway are set up there? I'm guessing so. Got themselves set up in the wastes. Before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. That spoke's broken down now, so the only way there is the long way, round the rim, past the green way. He shows you on the slate. Feng looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on the system since the collapse. Or they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. I work with Hardin. Access, old connections, not sure. Feng looks back at the screen. But if Hardin is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Feng stares out in the middle distance. You have to get inside the facility. The answer to whatever Hardin has been planning, has to be there. We're going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and I'll see you on the Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell, up by the Hythe building. Should be a good place to meet. Feng squeezed your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgot about that tracking of yours either. I'm gonna need to be back in my bay to put a solution together. He turned the slate together to face you, showing a master scroll and code. I'm working on a fix in my brakes. He winks. Feng grins widely. I've got to go ask for some time off from Jenna. Wish me luck. He waves as he walks back to the bar, where Jenna is standing, a look of deep exhaustion in her eyes. Jesus. Ugh. Bro is going to get fired. Bro is cooked. Help us compete. The Flotilla 8. Enter the Greenway. Still don't know where to put the seed. Don't know where to put that seed, and I need somewhere to put that seed. Probably not the farm stacks. I don't. Nope, definitely not. Not the mushroom groves. Oh, Jill Valentine. Oh, Jill Valentine. Hydration. We're playing this frickin' stupid frickin' little game called Citizen frickin' Sleeper, Jill. Kinda frickin' awesome. Kinda awesome. Flotilla aid, help us compete. Goes experiments into the Creepway. Crack Conway. Oh, I'm gonna crack someone, alright. I get it, cause sex. Cause sex. The sad Megan face is awesome. So true, Megan. I did enjoy seeing it when I was here when you started it. I'm glad you're having fun. No, you're not. You hate me and you want me to die, Jill Valentine. Don't lie to me. You don't you can be truthful for once. You know that, right? Oh my god, lol. I'm just saying. You don't have to lie, Jill Valentine. It's true. No, I don't. It's true. She said that. Mago, no! Megan's right. Megan's right. Megan's spitting facts. Megan knows what he's talking about, alright? And if there's one thing that I know is true, it's that Megan knows what's going on sometimes. Means I'm right all the time. Yeah, I have a sword means I'm right all the time. That. I think I might have fucked up somewhere along the line. There we go. I wanted that. Only one sword or two? Megan. Megan, annihilate Jill Valentine. What? Why is it not? Okay. I thought it was just a visual bug, but it's being quirky. So we're going to quit to the menu real quick, because it's got 22 seconds to the last save, and then we're going to go. Oh! 600 seconds? Okay, that's a little excessive, Megan. Get fucking annihilated. Jesus. Jesus, Megan, you're getting real power hungry. You're a real piece of work. You know that, Megan? The Climbing Briar. 2 key roll caps. Just for you. Julian, I'm trying to undo it. Julian, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's Peak. You came. Peak smiles as you walk into the Climbing Briar's cargo hold behind a gloomy ash. They brought mushrooms. Ash tosses the mushroom caps onto a crate, raising her eyebrows at Peek. Peek gives her a look. Thank you, Sleeper. They pick up one and sniff at it. Are these edibles? Yes. Peek turns the cap over in their fingers before putting it down. Oh no, I did it again. Fuck no. Jesus Christ, Megan. Unban. Okay, there you go. We're not so used to fresh produce. Ash is securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. They're an acquired taste. I'm sure the refugees will acquire it. Ash wipes her hands on a rag. Most of them are for Ember's moons, so they're used to eating green and growing things. Not like us XPR roughnecks. XPR? Some interrogation? She glares. Either way, we're done with that place, which is all you need to know. So sorry, it's not my fault. Loaf made me do it. No, I didn't. No, I did not. Megan was 100%. Megan's words were get fucking annihilated. He was excited to do that. Ash leans back against the crate she was securing. We're going to need more than a few mushrooms if we want to help those refugees, though. What do they need? Food, water components, a whole lot of things. Ash stands and walks over to the mushrooms he brought, placing them into a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. Can't you just fly around? And get the briar sized for breaching quarantine? No thanks. Sized. Very funny, you power-hungry gremlin. You said annihilate her. I don't know that I said all that. I'm just saying that Megan's a little power-hungry. No thanks, she laughs. We were lucky enough to get here before the cordon was set up. That's the only reason we're on this side. Why is there a quarantine? Peek jumps in. The AI has a closed-loop life support system, just like any orbital installation. Any unfamiliar illness or significantly increased strain of life support could cause a cascading collapse in its systems. I'll fucking clip it. I'm only following orders. Yeah, whatever you say. Ash scoffs. Are we making excuses for those bureaucrats now? Peek turns. We're being realistic, Ash. But these people aren't an increased strain. They're living people. Ash stares at you. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single monolithic group. Ash slides the container full of mushrooms into one of the cargo's holds racks. Look, as much as I'd like to chat, we still got a lot of space to fill up in this hold, so if you're going to help, I think Ash is trying to say we need your help, and quickly, Peek says, glancing at her. Refugees behind the cordon, they will be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles, or... Ash steps forward, or Haven Age will have to bear responsibility for whatever happens next. What can I do? There's 3 things we'll need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. Ash gestures to the storage containers around her. Water we can find a way to source, or, my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs on the Greenway. Peek raises their eyebrows. Ash, she ignores them. For food, things can be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure. There's no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I saw an algae stack on the way over. If we can get access, no more stealing, Ash, Peek sighs. I didn't say steal, she says. She stares at them indignantly. If we can get access, we can work the stack, harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks churn out vast quantities in short time scales. And the repair components? Ash said tentatively. Ash smiles. Just look around you, Pete. This whole place is made of scrap. She shoots you a glance. I'm sure the Sleeper has their sources. They can bring them right here. I got 4 right now. We get everything before the time runs out? Perfect. We get most of it? Also good. Either way, in 12 cycles, I'm going to take what we have and go. How will you get through? Ash shoulders the container. I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peek. They flinch. Are you serious, Ash? I know we said we would help the flotilla, but at what point they stop and take a breath? Take this seriously, Ash. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not, Ash looks at you. But they might. They slipped out from SNR facility, didn't they? Plus, they've been here longer than us. You're always trying to get me to find help. Well, here it is, she gestures at you. Help. He glances between the two of you. I swear to... They sigh. I need to think this one through. Meet me at the cordon in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we can figure something out. Meanwhile, Ash meets your eye. You can help me acquire the supplies. Discreetly, she smiles. We have to keep this quiet. Keep Haven Age out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is all over for us. This all suddenly seems a little too real, too dangerous. You only just found your feet on the eye. This is not a time for causing trouble. Come find us. We'll be out there trying to pull all this together. Ash goes to the back of the hold to start packing another container. Pete, come help me. Pete glances back at her. Sleeper, look, we didn't choose this either. They lower their voice. Help us finish this. We set up a base camp on the broken spoke. You're welcome to rest there in any of the cots while we work on this, they smile. We're in this together. Peek, Ash shouts as they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the eyes ring, where Haven Age's cordon blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? I'd be getting myself into stuff. Okay. 8 scrap for the flotilla. Okay. 8 is a little bit of scrap. I won't lie. Reservoir. Reduce your alert level of the system and keep you from getting locked out. Oh my gosh. The algae stack. Negotiate access. Negotiate access, eh? Ugh. All good and stable right now, so we're fine on that front. I don't really have to worry about anything, but... buy some scrap. Worst comes to worst, I got a ship mine part that I have to sell off. Like there. No, it's Haven Age that I sell it at, I think. Yep. 30 cryo for that. Not bad. Gives me a little bit of a return on what I was looking for, so. Cross to the Greenway. Negotiate access. Go back to our house. Where we live, because that's the house where we live, obviously. It's my house, I live there. Be nice to me. This is my apartment. End the cycle. End the cycle. Rabaya. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. As that's Sabine, you push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing, Rabia calls out as you entered. I wanted you to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Ravi. He smiles, an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise, he waves a ringed hand. Now, Ravi, where were we? Actually, Rabia places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hand into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They've shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side. We have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leads forward. Slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabia smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You here to work, Sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head, raises it again, as if drop something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at her. You don't follow. What was he saying? That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward. Anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment. Jill Valentine. Do you want the gray or the white ones? You want the gray or the white ones? Okay, we'll put on the white ones then. There you go. Are you happy now? Does this please you? Is this to your liking? Is this what you wanted from me? Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but is so fast you almost miss it. Good, I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Aw, you're so cute. Yannick reaches out and squeezes his shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she's deep in conversation, and so stunned and confused, you leave. Okay. Sabina's right. Yannick has been working with Essen Yarp behind Yadigan's back. Time to find out the truth. Yannick's ward. Patrol the block. Yannick's trust. Bliss still has till tomorrow. We got some more stuff to finish up over here in the Greenway for the flotilla. Gotta get aid for the flotilla. Still waiting. That's waiting for Feng. Here we go. Algae stack. There we go. Okay. And then that's how we work on food for the flotilla. That would make sense, I suppose. Still need more scrap. Don't suppose there's not. No, that's an endure. Okay, because then there's the reservoir. Yeah, engineer, siphon the water. Go back, look at the flotilla. All's part or nothing without the planet. That's Peak's part in this. Gosh, I don't know nothing about how to advance Peak's plan. So there is that. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. Feed the stray. End the cycle. We feed the stray, we end the cycle. Let's feed the stray again. Yeah, as you leave, you find a note pinned on the outside of the door. It reads, Sleeper, there's something you need to see. Meet me at the cordon as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting. Peak. You pocket the note and glance around the corridor. Looks like you were doing this. Time to make a plan. Who the Oh, I know you. Hey, a quiet voice greets you. Sleeper, a quiet greets you as you leave. Sleeper, it's me. Do I know you? Moritz, he paused. I work for Bliss. He rubs the back of his head. You are not an easy person to find. I move around. Moritz holds up his hand. Hey, no judgment, it's cool. You both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. So... yeah, well, Bliss needs you. A judge just came in. A real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. He nods sagely. I'll be there. Yeah, nice. Yeah, Moritz stands there for a little while, unsure if the message delivered. I've got it. Cool, cool, cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know. rubs his hands together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, Sleeper. Moores ambles off down the corridor, kicking at a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's Bay, then. Bliss's Bay. The bay with bliss. The bay with bliss in it. Bliss's Bay. Okay, and this just slowly grows anyway. Okay, that's awesome. Haven Age alert. Water. Water for the flotilla is real important. Cross to the rim. One upgrade point. G Express. Noodle manufacturer. Ugh. God, I'm all frickin'. I got all the itchies, dude. I got active scenes, so. Oh, yeah, I have to go talk to Bliss. Never mind. I see. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be on the cordon, maybe? No? Yes! Sleeper! Pete catches your attention from the shadowy corner they were leaning against. Any trouble getting here? None. Good to hear. Come take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Haven Age cordon. Cordon's temporary structures and net of metal shut struts meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla jut out into the black, and all around, the tugs flit, securing them into place and tending to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? Peek interrupts your thoughts. How would you get us through? Is one of the tugs? An escort, you mean? I doubt we can fit all the supplies on one of those tugs, but it seemed like the Briar was officially being escorted through the cordon. Peek squints at the red lights, but then we'd be stuck inside. Peek turns away from the window and rubs their forehead. Asha's really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? The question isn't spoken under their breath, and they don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Maybe we try all three? Peek laughs. I like it. Then we should prepare. At least we should prepare as many ways as we can. The way I see it, there are three parts to making it through the cordon. Gestured out the window to the strange structure. Deception, distraction, and speed. We need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon security into thinking we're meant to be there. Maybe a tug expert would work. Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can create a gap in the cordon scanning and determine systems that should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready. Ash surely wouldn't mind. Feeling back from the window. How does that sound? Good. Good to hear. Peek grins. Peek looks down at their slate. 10 cycles left. They glance out of the window at the cordon nervously. 10 cycles to gather the supplies and prep this plan. It's tight. Very tight. Peek looks at you. If this goes wrong, Peek sighs. Just get out, okay? They squeeze your shoulder. I'll follow Ash anywhere, but you don't need to get dragged down with us. It won't come to that. Peek brightens up a little. Of course, but just keep it in mind. Let's get to it. Peek stretches. I'll tell Ash about the improvements to the Briar and the rest. Let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you to us, Sleeper. Peek smiles, but I'm very glad they did. Okay. I fed the cat this morning. We can sleep here tonight. Hope we get the fucking scrap from something, I guess. Ooh, that is not awesome. I sure hope that it didn't... It doesn't up... Oh my god, it does. Holy shit, we have to do this quick then. That's not awesome. Oh, we could do the other two tomorrow. Wouldn't be wise to do them today. Yeah, I've already breached my cryo allowance. We'll do 2. Don't be a failure. Fuck. Okay, well, negative outcome was just energy down. I thought it was going to be worse. Hang out with Lemon Mina. Go to Emphasis food stall. Eat there. Leave. Go to the repaired unit. Feed the stray. End cycle. Oh my gosh, I keep getting shitty ass dice. It's okay, that should be enough for us. Come on, positive. That is not positive. Come on, positive, please. That is not positive. Come on, dude. There we go. Holy shit. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay, Bliss thumps you on the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared out that contract, no problem, she stretches. Once we're back in the bay, we can check out if the payment has come through and divide it up, she scratches. Feel good. The airlock clunks and the lights flicker. And a moment later, you're back in the bay where Moritz is at the racks, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss like should be hung. Hey, Moritz. Oh, he looks different. Moritz looks over his shoulder. Sleeper, he spins a wrench in his hand. Looked like clean work out there, he nods respectfully. You look over at Bliss, who's already gliding over to the management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she was born into it. Shit, Bliss slams his fist on the console. Shit, shit, shit. Look at Moritz. Moritz raises his eyebrow but stays quiet. He doesn't want to get involved. Bliss calls over to you. Look at this, just look. She spins at the terminal screen and you see the details for Bay's account. For the Bay's account, you see an entry for the Ember's Wake. A repair fee paid in full the moment you finished up the job, but then directly after the whole amount was transferred back into an unknown account. What the hell? It was the work of my ex. She punches the terminal. He must have coded a backdoor into the machine before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can... She pauses. Moritz, throw me that wrench. What's that for? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles at this. Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal hard. You flinch backwards. The hail of computer parts spill up on the screen in a glittering arc. Fragments of screen, memory section, the casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Trip backdooring your way into that, you shit. Moritz drifts out from his hiding place among the racks. Leslie says tentatively, you want me to... He looks for the arc of fragments drifting around the bay nervously. I need to flee, but you all know where I'll be. Hope you have fun. Save all the ship, and have fun with the cat ears. Oh, you animal. Bliss shakes her head. No, she sighs. I've got it. You go get me a new terminal. Cheapest you can find. Cobble one together from pieces at the ore exchange if you have to. Can I help? Bliss glides over the panel by the wall. Don't worry. One of the first things I had installed when we spec'd out this place was a cleaning sweep. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do and pulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. It's that, or just space the whole bay every few cycles. But now, the cycles. We keep at it. The cleaning sweep buzzes and crackles its way across the bay. The account wasn't everything. I'm not That's stupid. Once more it gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the path of the sweep. We break. Then we take another contract. That's it. She sets off the sweep as she reaches the bay. I'm in. You better beep us, lass, because there's no way you're getting your investment back unless you are. Shrugs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too, but next time won't be the same. Better not be. She looks away. See you in a few cycles. Moritz will let me know. She kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning on. Well, we got other stuff to do anyway. Cross to the greenway. Algae stack. Harvest algae. God damn it. That sucks, dude. Oh my god, I get ass rolls and then they just... I'm gonna need to get a fucking thing of stabilizer. Fading now. Fading and... Dude, shit again? Shit from a butt. Oh, I'll get to you in a second, Fang. Fucking Christ. Fuck me, dude. Are you serious? There's a perk to reroll dice. I am aware there's a perk to reroll dice. I just don't have it. It's the one perk I don't have, actually. So think about that. I need stabilizer. I need stabilizer. I need that stabilizer. Saving the best for last, I see. It would seem so. I'll get two. I'll be greedy. Now we have no money. Inject the stabilizer. Feed the stray. End the cycle. Dude. This is poop from a butt. Like, what the hell? Like, can we be so for real? Okay. Come on. Fuck me. Let's go talk to Feng. Enter the service dock. Feng is already set up, crouched amongst the stacks of equipment. He's leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. He's totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everybody in Haven Age is set against me. A couple of my old system pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. Gestures the pile of blinking hardware. Nice kit. Feng does a mock bow. What are we looking at? One massive smoking gun. He raises his eyebrows. Feng beckons you over. He has a set of scans at the waist on his terminal, with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Feng shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Arden has got a crew out there putting them together. He must have shipped them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out there. Machines? That's Conway's whole thing. Remote-operated vehicles, drone cutters, salvage haulers, the full set. Maybe Harden masked the whole thing as an effort to clean up the waste, but there's no way it was about pulling scrap off the eye, Feng looks worried. And why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Heaven Age knows another corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the greenway is a total Zark zone. No data can come in or out. I can try, No use, you need to enter the cloud, and there's no cloud to speak of. He turns awake. That's when I pay him a visit. Too risky. You forget. Haven Age come in and out of there all cycle. I should be able to get in, as long as no one I know sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable the security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network, and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility, buried deep down in there, miles of corridors and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out of there. He keeps a handful of ripper worms from his pockets and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. Modified them slightly, so this time they'll feed data threads back into the system that they were tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. Alright, just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I pinged to locate the ports for the security system, then slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town. He points a fuzzy silhouette of buried facility terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry the perimeter systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in, slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. If I can't, Ben gives you a hard look. You miss a system, you wait too long, they're going to find me. Simple as that. He claps you on the shoulder. I need you focused on this one, so I'm going to let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. He affectionately pats up the top of the screen. Got it. Don't worry. You can run rings around their protocols. I've seen it. Feng gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations. Slot that worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get proof of what we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. Can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. He stands up. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? You take whatever I've managed to pull at that point, all of the data, and you slot that stuff straight in the relay I've set up here. He points to the pilot's data, servers and terminals. Hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with the terminal, Slate, or server on the eye will see it. That means Haven Age, Yataghan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Harden isn't snaking away this time. Prince. Got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot in the first worm, I'll make my move. Gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit you as you make your way out of the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. Oh boy! Okay, we can't get locked out of there, because that's bad. Try to do that, though, maybe? Or we go more algae growth. Oh. I still need one more piece of scrap. Okay, here we go. Much better. Harvest algae. Flotilla has all the food they need. You're leaning up to the metal crates you just loaded with algae, packed and dried into bright green pucks. Ash hops into the one beside you, flexing her aching back. Hope the refugees like algae. Ash squints at you as you just interrupted her train of thought. It looks as if it's a look you've become familiar with. Doesn't matter either way. This is what we've got, she sighs, rubbing the back of her neck. These past cycles, working the algae stack with Ash, you've had little insight into her mind. She rarely seems happy to start a conversation, but is always eager to add one. Despite this, you feel like something has grown between you. Something like silent trust. The kind that tends to seed itself in the fertile soil of hard but necessary work. Concerned? Ash laughs. You could say that. She turns to face you. I think I'd be stupid to not be concerned about all of this. She's right, of course. Oh my god, what the fuck? I'm so itchy. I don't know why my nose gets so itchy. She's right, of course. Though it's hard to focus your concerns on one thing in particular. Can the refugees survive on the flotilla? What are Haven Age doing to help them? If the quarantine is lifted, is the Eye really in danger? Each worry is far too large to even begin to process to judge, and they mesh with other, more personal worries. Until you feel the anxiety growing in your chest. You look at Ash and suddenly eager to speak, to talk about something, anything, rather than just sitting and feeling this growing weight. Why escape XPR? Ash pauses, her protective instinct fighting with the trust you've built. You can see her begin to shrug the question off, then she stops, rethinks, sighs. What you need to understand, Sleeper, is that Erlin's Eye wasn't the only place where the Solheim collapse happened. Sure, Hawthorne, where we grew up, was an XPR installation, but that didn't screen it from Solheim going under. Actually, Solheim was the only reason XPI were ever here. She pauses, hesitant to get into the whole story, but wanting to offer something. She flinches, correcting herself. They are a service corp, you understand? They set up outposts and surrogate systems like this to offer refueling, logistics, and maintenance service to bigger companies with extraction contracts. She gestures to the eye around her, like Solheim. When Solheim went bust and XPR lost their client, Ed Hawthorne, well, we lost everything. We became an outpost tasked with just holding on, keeping the refueling platforms running, they said. Keep the outpost stable. Hold on to our claim. She rubs at her head, as if recalling all this was somehow physically painful. Do you know what it's like to spend your entire life in a place with no future? A place that exists only to hold a legal claim on a piece of territory, to shore up a breach of contract negotiations between two corporations? It's like living in a... She searches for a word, her eyes jumping back and forth. In a grave. She clenches her hands. Dude, why is my nose so fucking itchy? I don't get it. So if you're going to answer the why questions, that's your answer. We, Peek and I, know what it's like to be forgotten, to be locked out. She stares hard at the edge of the stack, the algae whirling against glass in beautiful patterns, and she doesn't look away. What the fuck? The silence extends, and you realize the conversation is over. Ash seems angry, not at you, but with herself, for even voicing such ideas. After a while, you stand and start to load the crates onto the powered cargo trolley that Ash will run back to the Briar. As you do so, you catch her eye, but she avoids it, soothing herself instead with the comforting simplicity of physical work. Hack sensors. Engineer. Neutral outcome. Negative outcome fucks me there, so I shouldn't. Oh, dude, my nose is like legitimately like so itchy. I have no idea why, and it's starting to make me a little angry. Because it's like itchy in a way that I cannot, like, it's... Ugh. Try to intercept comms, I suppose. Fuck me, dude. Are you serious? Ugh, what a pain in my fucking penor. Sleeper Moritz is waiting for you on your way out. How have you been? Busy. I see, he nods. Well, I'll get right to it. Liz sent me down. We scored another contract and she needs your help. That's the message, he pauses. Look, I know last time the payment didn't come through, but you did good work. Liz knows that. It's no problem. Okay, then, he pauses. She's doing her best, you know? I know. He nods. See you up there. Moritz turns and strides off, leaving you to the corridor. Time to help Liz, and maybe this time you think to yourself it'll work out. Money would be pretty cool. Oh my god, my fucking nose! Jesus! Fucking unstoppably itchy, dude. Come on, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail. Yes! Yes! Okay. Now we've got water for him. Tucked into a service corridor deep below the reservoir, Ash is double-checking the seals on the water tanks loaded onto the motorized trolley. Though you are far enough away from any thoroughfares not to worry about being overheard, you both speak in hushed tones. All good? Ash nods silently and hits the ignition on the trolley to start it moving. You take the other side of the trolley and walk it up to the service corridor. With its flickering lights and Solheim detritus, you hope it gets used by Haven Age. At least, that's the hope. Glance across at Ash, her face a mask of determination as she guides the trolley along. Maybe some conversation will make this journey a little easier. What comes next? Ash pauses a little, surprised by your question. She glances back down the tunnel, but in the deserted passage she can hardly keep up the pretense of silence. They keep going, she answers quickly, and turns back to the trolley. but she can tell you were expecting her to add more. She seems to gather herself for an answer, not wanting to ignore you, but trying instead to get her answer straight into her head. Our outpost, Hawthorne, is not an easy place to grow up. The administrators kept a tight hold on everything. She rolls her eyes, even though they are trapped in the same decaying installation as everyone else. Frick, dude, frick. 1 second here, 1 second. This is... Jesus Christ. Oh. 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 Peak, she pauses. Peak found it harder than most. She pauses again, judging her words. I stepped in to help them out. Silence descends again, but you can feel the wheels turning in Ash's mind as the creaking wheels of the trolley take you along the corridor. I promised Peak I would get them out, no matter what, so when the opportunity arose, she grimaces. We got out. We got as far away from that place as we could, and we're glad of it. So after this, we keep going. Till we are so far from Hawthorne we can't even remember the way back. Ash stops talking, but she has a dark look in her eyes, her mind thinking of the difficulties that the future might bring. You both reach a wide bulkhead doorway and have to stop to shimmy the trolley over the edge. When you're done, Ash turns to you. I'm good from here. Head back. With that, she is gone, moving off in the dark tunnel ahead. You watch her go, and then turn around and walk the distance back to the staircase you entered from, the tunnel humming around you as you do. As you walk, you try to piece together Ash's past, but all you have are glimpses of a person she once was. She seems to prefer it that way. We'll go back here. Sunbathe. Negative outcome, dude. Fuck me. I keep getting the worst possible outcomes for these things. It's kind of pissing me off. A rapid burst of movement catches your attention. A drone, its fins adjusting it as it hovers in place, floats in the corridor. Hello? The drone shifts a little but does not respond. The drone buzzes closer and a voice gurgles out of the speaker, distorted and strange. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. Who is this? Inspect the drone. The drone clicks in words. The recording starts to play again. Sleeper, come to the cordon. We need to speak. You move closer to the drone, bobs away with safe distance, but as you see the HA of Haven Age emblazoned on the side. Could this be Fang's drone? Satisfied, it has delivered its message. The drone rotates and accelerates away as it's rapidly arrived. You stare at it as it disappears from sight, hoping for some insight that escapes you. To the cordon, then. Jesus, dude. Can you people stop fucking asking me for shit? So you enter the passage that leads through the cordon, and a flash of movement catches your eye, the drone. It stops to make sure you've seen it, and then flits into the side passage, leading a set of narrow stairs. You climb up through a dark shaft, the drone stopping at each landing to make sure you're falling. Despite its lack of expression, there's something overbearing about the way the drone waits, impatiently realigning its fin sequence. After a long climb, you come out to an observation platform. The cordon and the vast ramshackle refugee ships beyond unfail your vision. The scale seems impossible, and immediately you feel small and naive for even thinking you could affect this situation. Something shifts nearby. The drone again? Helena. A woman is standing nearby at the window, at the edge of your vision. You aren't surprised you didn't notice her. She too seems impossibly small in the shadow of the flotilla. The drone buzzes by her shoulder as she turns. Sleeper, sorry for all the cloak and dagger nonsense. She nods at the drone, but I have never regretted being cautious. She smiles, a tight smile, and holds out a hand. I'm Helene. Shake her hand. The tight smile holds, but the drone keeps its single eye fixed on you. The effect is a little unnerving. Look, she glances around the empty observation deck as if checking for potential eavesdroppers. Let's be straight with each other. I know about your plans, and she cuts in before you can respond. I understand your motives. You look at her overall, the yellow markers, the HA symbol. You've been on the eye long enough to recognize a Haven Age member when you can see. You're Haven Age. Yes, I expect that is obvious, the tight smile again. I hope you won't hold that against me. She glances around nervously again and moves a little closer. The entire situation, I'm not here to defend. She glances back at the flotilla. No one is happy about this. Then release the flotilla. She sighs. How do you think this works? She pauses. Sleeper, tell me something. What does Haven Age mean to you? Corruption. She looks away. Yes, I thought you might say that. Haven Age is used to being criticized. In some ways we invite it. Our members are free to bring up grievances at any meeting, to propose new structures and approaches. She shifts her weight impatiently. As a counselor, it's my duty to listen to them. That's why I was elected by the members. We are an imperfect system, yes, and each counselor, each member, each representative can be flawed. And worse, she looks down. We keep this place running. That's what we do. And the flotilla? She turns and looks out the clump of the fractured ship. The flotilla is a problem. Can the Eye take in thousands of refugees safely? I don't know. This place is a ruin, Sleeper. What do you think the council discusses? The price of Girol? We make plans to keep this place spinning, to keep life support working, to ensure... Helene's slight chirps, and a grim look passes across her face as she sees the notification. She looks tired, the screen light casting her rigid expression in a pale glow. Sleeper, I didn't bring you here to explain how Haven Age works. I came here to talk about your plan to cross the Cordon, reach the quarantine, and supply the flotilla. She looks directly out to. Stay silent. I know you think you're helping the flotilla, but you cannot do this. Right now, halfway along the ring, one of a countless series of debates are being held. These debates are to evaluate the potential harm that could be caused if the refugees of the flotilla are left to enter the station. These debates are at a standstill. Helene walks to the window. Too many in Haven Age Council think of the flotilla as a threat. After recent events, a hardline group has emerged, protective, selfish. They seek only to benefit the members. In their mind, the flotilla is a danger to life on the Eye. If you're caught crossing the Cordon and breaching the quarantine, it will only strengthen the hardline counselor's case. Criminals who stole a ship from XPR, undermining the security of the station, she shakes her head, is exactly what they want. The refugees need supplies. They do, and that's exactly what I want to give them. But unless the quarantine is lifted through a fair process, they will never get them. She sighs deeply. And those ex-XPR spacers you were running with, Sleeper, do you know anything about them? More than I know about you. She looks at you pleadingly. Let's change that, Sleeper. Why do you think the refugee flotilla came here now? Something is happening in the system. Something is pushing people out of colonies and outposts that have survived since Solheim's collapse. You need to be ready for whatever is coming, ready to protect the Eye. I know the Eye means something to you. I know there's a reason you're still here. Help me protect it. Helene fixes you with a strong look. Persuade those spacers that this is the wrong move, that they will get caught and the flotilla will be locked down, that Haven Age will be delivered into those with the worst instincts. Forget the suicidal supply run with people you barely know. Help me fight for the Eye. Why don't you stop them? If I expose the plan, it's the same as if it goes ahead, and they are caught. Every way I look at it, the Eye looks compromised. Quarantine justified. The hardlines get their scapegoat. Don't offer up the excuse the hardliners need to lock the flotilla out altogether. To persuade the members they are the safest pair of hands. She looks at you imploringly. Please. You look back at her and the flotilla behind, and sense a sense of desperation in her plea. A notification breaks the silence. Shit, she rapidly scrolls through the pages of data. Sleeper, I need to go. She looks torn. Think about this, please. Talk to the spacers and help them see reason. She quickly leaves the observation deck before you have time to respond. You stay for a moment, watching the lights of the tugs of the flotilla, and wonder what it feels like to be on one of those ships, so close to your destination, and yet so far from it. And then you think of the Haven Age Council chamber across the Eye, where the right of these people to find safety is being debated. You shiver, and then you too are gone, back into the stairwell in the cold dark below. Oh, man. Make it a little fucking harder, why don't you? What the fuck? You have a better chance to save the remaining crops, but you'll lose some in the process. The question is how many? Holy shit. Send to the rim. Gotta go fucking give more help to Ash. need to eat. I need to eat food, it would seem. I need to sustain myself. Yeah? And you know what else I need to do? There is something else I need to do, and I know what you're gonna say, Megan. I know what you're gonna say. But wait. I just got here. And you know what? That might be... Jesus Christ! Peak. Sleeper. Peak is waiting for you when you leave, but they look different. Pale. Drawn out. You need to come up to the Briar now. They don't mean your eye. What's happened? Not here, Peak hisses. Come to the ship. We'll be waiting. Peak walks away. Don't take long. And with that, they disappear around the corner, leaving you anxious and confused. Well, that'll be... good for next time. Next stream. Because tonight, we're done. So I really hope you've enjoyed playing game with me tonight. And I hope that we will finish game tomorrow night. Bye-bye, my friends. Have a good one.